The platform. Step up and speak out.
This is a good evening at ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town. The name is Larry Kwirirayi. It's an episode of The Platform coming to you on this Monday, the 18th of June. Just under 50 days, just about 40 days, I think, just over 40 days until elections. The countries go to the poll, of course, on the 30th of July 2018. Just to remind you of some of the frequencies you can listen to us. Chivu 99.8, Kama TV Wange 105.1, Mutora Shanga 97.6, Nyanga 98.2, Gweru 104.3, Bulawayo, my hometown, 106.7. We're broadcasting out of Harare, where our frequency is 106.4. Get in touch with us. Let me also tell you, you can listen to us via our website, www.zfmstereo.co.zw. Get in touch with us via WhatsApp. It's 0731 168 Our call-in number will be open very shortly on 0772 168 Also on Facebook, where we are streaming this episode. Just get in touch with us on facebook.com/ZFM Stereo, so you can watch what's happening in the studio live, and on just go to facebook.com/ZFM Stereo. And on Twitter, we are keeping track on your messages at ZFM Stereo. If you have any questions, on Instagram at ZFM Stereo ZW. And this program, of course, is available as a podcast on iono.fm. So iono.fm within 24 hours of a broadcast. So as I said earlier, the country goes to the polls on the July the 30th. On June the 14th, the nomination court sat, and candidates are now waiting to be gazetted. Rather, the only contentious issue left is the provision of the voters' roll. And if you've been on social media when we put this program out, that was the biggest topic. There was a lot of activism, there was a lot of noise and the texture around that. So we decided that for today's program, we're going to have to help us unpack from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Commissioner Netsai Mushonga. Welcome to the program again.
Thank you, Larry. How are you, Zimbabweans?
So, opposition parties and civil society are not happy at the moment in the manner in which the voters' roll provision has been done. What does the law say, first of all?
About the provision of the voters' roll. It says after proclamation of an election, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission should provide the voters' roll after a reasonable period. So as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, we have been working on the voters' roll. We have finalized it. And finally, on Friday, we announced that the voters' roll was ready. And we are in the process of distributing it now to the political parties and other stakeholders around Zimbabwe. So we are in the process of distributing it right now.
So is there anyone who has gotten the voters' roll?
Yes, definitely. We gave to about 15 individuals and organizations today. And there's a process in which we get the professional voters' roll. You come into our offices, you go to the voter registration and delimitation department, and you make a request. Which voters' roll do you want? Do you want a national one, which is going for $20? Do you want a constituents one, which is going for $10? Or do you want a ward voters' roll, which is going for $2? And the turnaround time back to you is about 48 hours in which to get the voters' roll. But obviously, if you are outside Harare, the time is more in terms of we have to get that voters' roll to that province where you want. So we are distributing the voters' roll as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. But it's a whole process. And at the end of this process, we are going to submit a report to say who did we give the voters' roll to. And it should be very clear who we have distributed the voters' roll to. Because the voters' roll, like we have said previously, is a security issue. It's not something that you just go and shop like you are buying cooking oil. It's a document that has valuable information that belongs to individuals. So we have to keep a record of who we are giving it to. And we have to prepare it for you. As soon as you order it, we begin preparing it for you.
So get in touch with us on 0731 168 and just want to go through some of the questions, especially some of the questions that came through from social media. But when I know you did mention in as far as the availability of the voters' roll and as far as the law is concerned, when is it supposed to be availed to the electoral players in terms of days?
The law says within a reasonable period, so it gives us leeway as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So it says after proclamation, within a reasonable period, the Electoral Management Body, which is the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, should make available the voters' roll. So reasonable period means by the time we finish processing that voters' roll, we should be giving it out to Zimbabwean citizens. We finished registrations on the 1st of June 2018. Remember, after proclamation, 2 days after, we stopped the registrations. So we finished that process and we moved very quickly to finish processing the voters' roll. And remember, we have also said after, in the final period of registration, we had people registering 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, even 5 times. We are not sure why. So we have about 100 people on the exclusion list because they registered so many times, or there were some anomalies within their registration for the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So we've excluded that 100,000 because of those various problems. And they can process and vote in 20. Did you say
100,000 or 100?
100,000.
Okay, they've been excluded for
registering many times. Having an ID which is not consistent with the registrar's department. So idea it's not a viable ID. It's not recognizable by the RIG's department. Kana kuti munhu anenge akatora ID yemunhu 1 vo register vari vairi kana kuti vatatu pa same ID iyoyo. So many people have been excluded because of those reasons.
Okay, and now the next question I ask is, you say that the voters' roll has been made to individuals who applied for it. This
yes.
being the final voters' roll.
Yes, that's the final voters' roll that we have right now.
So given that sort of scenario, say electoral players who are in Harare, for example, or close to centers where ZEC is, why have they not received it by now?
We are in like I said, it's not automatic that you come and just buy the voters' roll and go. We want you to come in and fill the details, pa detail form redu, and then after filling in those details, if you are a duly nominated candidate, we will give you the voters' roll in 48 hours for free, and you go with it. But if you are anything other than a duly nominated candidate, you have to pay for the voters' roll to receive it. So what we're encouraging right now is for all the political players to come in, fill those details, and then receive the voters' roll in about 48 hours.
So how about the instance in which we saw on Twitter today, the UK and Zimbabwe team said was able to obtain a searchable copy in Excel format of the voters' roll from ZEC offices in Harare this morning. It took about 2 hours, but we came out with a disc. Why did it take 2 hours then?
They applied on Friday, and then they came in this morning to collect that voters' roll. So we are giving those who are coming, applying, and then after some 48 hours, we can avail it to them, so that they can have a look at it. Because they are our stakeholders, our observers, our stakeholders, our political parties, our stakeholders.
So just to be clear, they didn't come in this morning?
No. They came on Friday. We had about 15 organizations coming in on Friday and applying to get the voters' roll.
Okay.
The 2 hours is just for waiting around and getting it.
Get in touch with us is 0731 168 045, and if you want to call us is 0772 168 045. We're here until half past the hour of 8 o'clock with ZEC Commissioner Netsai Mushonga. We're discussing issues around the voters' roll. Now, just moving the story a little bit forward, I'm sure we're going to get back to the vote. We want to get further in the story of the voters' roll. The chairperson has been accused of issuing conflicting statements on this issue. On Friday, she said the electronic voters' roll was now available. This afternoon, she's alleged to have said only the hard copy is being made available. What is the correct position?
The law says we should provide the voters' roll in a format that the political players are requesting it in. And the political players have requested the voters' roll in a searchable and analyzable format. So they want to analyze the voters' roll. So we are providing it in electronic format on a disk where the political parties, where our players can go and analyze it and be able to search and, criticize it and come back to us at the end of the day. I'm sure that the conflicting statements are just misunderstandings that are happening, because Zimbabweans, we are so hyper now about the voters' roll. We want it in our hands. We want to search it. We want to analyze it. We want to play around with it. We want to see what is there within the voters' roll. Even myself, when I got it, it was like, am I there in the voters' roll? Is my mother there? Is my uncle there? Is, even ourselves, we are also very curious to see what is there. So I can understand what Zimbabweans are going through. They also want to analyze. They want to see it. They want to see what is there. And they want to authenticate also the contents of that document. But we are giving it, like the law says, in an analyzable electronic form.
Okay, get in touch with us on 0731168045. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from the break, asking a lot more questions about this contentious issue of the voters' rolls, a very important aspect of the electoral process as Zimbabwe goes to election later this year. You listen to ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town.
The platform. Step up and speak up.
You're still tuned into ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town. The name is Larry Kwirirayi, and this is edition of the platform. And just a couple of weeks away from the election that comes, the general election that comes on 30th of July 2018. Now, if you want to get in touch with us, it's 0731168045. Our call number is 0772168045. In the studio, I'm with Commissioner Netsai Mushonga from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Now, Commissioner, have the political parties and civil society have been appraised of the law in terms of the provision of the voters' roll?
Yes, we have appraised them, and remember that the electoral law is available online, and also the Constitution of Zimbabwe is available online, so they can access those documents, they can read them, and they can also know the provisions that are in those documents regarding the provision of the voters' roll.
So now, given that sort of scenario, what is, if this information you're saying is available to the political parties, are you in a way accusing the political parties of not being honest, 100% honest?
Not really. I'm saying there's a lot of impatience, there's a lot of excitement regarding this election that we are going into, Larry. So I can understand that even when we closed the registration on the 1st of June, on the 2nd of June, we began to have those strong demands to say, can we have the voters' roll? So it's part of their responsibilities of the political parties. It's also part of the responsibilities of civil society to hold us accountable. So I guess they are simply doing their role in their task of trying to hold us accountable. And I think there was a genuine fear and belief on their behalf that we wouldn't be able to provide that voters' roll. But we know as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, we had demanded a constitutional and an electoral mandate to provide the voters' roll to them. And we have come through as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission to do just that. So we are following the law, like I've always said, and we are providing that voters' roll to them, which is the final voters' roll.
Now, there's a comment that is doing the round. Is it attributable to the Justice Priscilla Chigumba, who is the ZEC chairperson? Even if the voters' roll is flawed, elections will still go ahead?
What happens in Zimbabwe, according to our laws, Larry, is that when the president has proclaimed an election, that election will still go on no matter what happens. What we have said is the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is analyze the voters' roll, give us feedback on what you see in that document. Is it a very good document? Do you see some faults in it? Give us feedback so that we continue improving in terms of providing a credible voters' roll for Zimbabwe. But the election will go on no matter what happens, and at the end of the day, the political parties can challenge the outcome of that election based on the faults they would have seen, and not try to stop the election can't be stopped, the election goes on. And this is according to the Zimbabwe electoral laws. It's not according to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission.
So the question is, why can't, okay, just to be clear, does it mean that if flaws are seen right now, they won't be corrected?
We are not able to go back now and correct the voters' roll because it's a finalized document.
Okay, so in essence, help me understand. For the sake of Samana Rukumba Kutikana, pane zvisiri correct. Tichangoenda ne-election, what does it actually mean?
Larry zvatiri kutaura ndezvekuti isusu takacreata voters roll takakumbira vanhu kuti uyai muzoregister kuti mu-participate ma-elections ari kuitika muna 2018, and everyone had to physically present themselves pa-polling station kuti varegister kuti vavote. Saka vanhu 5.6 million vatiri kutaura vanhu vakafamba netsoka dzavo vakasvika pa-polling station pa-registration center vakasvika inini ndinonzi Larry ndiri kuda kuregister kuti ndivhote muna 2018. Tikabva tavaregister kuti vavote muna 2018. Saka isusu hatisi kunyanya kuona mafaults arimo mudocument momu tikatoti in between period yatakatanga kuregister muna September 2017 until now takakumbira kuti vamudede tipewo mazita evanhu vakauya vachinzi vakafa from your office. Takapuwa mazita about 5,000 vakafa ivavo. Saka document ratinaro isusu tiri kuona riri document riri very accurate kuti tiende kuma 2013 elections because ranga riri document redunga munhu uya wega uzoregister kana uri mupenyu. Vataka exclude 100,000 vaiva ndo vatisina chokwadi navo kuti variko here kana kuti havanyatso exist.
Saka, are we saying that you vaka exclude the 100,000 have not been informed that they've been excluded?
Vanozviona vari pa exclusion list. Kana vakatoenda vakanoenter nhamba dzavo pa USSDA vanongotaura kuti vari pa exclusion list. Kana vari pa exclusion list vanogona kuuya kuma office kwedu kuya 73 offices, ma district offices edu nema provincial offices, ubvunza kuti inini ndaka exclude kwa because of what, voudzwa problem yachona vokwanisa kutanga kuicorrecta problem iyoyo kuti vakwanise kunge vachipinda zviri normal pa voters roll redu.
Okay, just having a look here. Someone asked a very important, interesting question, Makomborero, on Twitter. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us. It says, is it criminal to share the voters' roll online?
Mutemo wakatitaurira kuti voters roll redu tinopa munhu nemunhu vachienda naro vachinori analyze vachimiramira naro. Saka tiri kungoteerera zvakataurwa pamutemo. Chinonetsa kuenda online nedocument redu ndechekuti vanhu vanobva vatanga kuda kuheka into that document vorishandura voriita zvatanga tisingade isusu. Patakaopena voters roll redu through USSD ne-online viewing iya pa-inspection phase pane vakatotanga kuda kutopinda mudocument redu iroro vachiita inonzi hacking pachirungu iya. Saka tisingade kuriita online riri full document. Saka tiri kungori downloada toriisa pama-flash disk ayai ekuti vanhu vanoenda vachinoanalyza vari kwavanenge variko. Takaona kuti ndo zviri safe pakuchengeteka kwedocument iroro. Saka tiri kungori provider riri ipapo. And uyezve zvandataura zvezvo document information iri muvoters roll information yakawanda. Information inokoshera inini newe Larry because iri kutaura kuti ndinonzani, ID yangu ndeipi, phone yangu ndeipi, ndinogara papi. That is very confidential information yatiri kupa kuvanhu. Saka we also want a record rekuti aita access to information iyoyo ndiani, because mutemo unonzi Electoral Act unototisunga isusu veZEC kuti tiite safeguard information iyoyo, tizive kuti yapuhwa kuna ABCD kuti kana yazoabusiwa tinoona kuti watinenge taakuendesa kumataredzi mhosva ndiani kuti akaabuse that information.
So then the question, I think the question was asked, inini kana ndikapiwa voters roll and I've got my own website, it would be illegal for me to put it up on my website?
It will be illegal for you to do that because inenge yakusaccessiwa nevatisina kupa isusu. Uyezve Electoral Act inototi ukatanga kuabuse voters roll uchingoidistribute iwewe hause Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, isusu ndisu tine mvumo yekuti tinge tichipa vanhu voters roll iroro. Saka iwe ukariwanawo ukatanga kuridistributa rikazobatwawo nevamwe vanoita zvemarketing kana vanoita zvemacriminal activities vakatanga kurishandisa, then watoone mhosva. nekuti wadistributa information iri very sensitive to mazimbabweans kuvanhu vasingafanira kunge vakabata information iyoyo.
Okay, just the phone lines are open now. Just get in touch with us on 0772-168-045. Do get in touch with us. Now, pane issue my reforms, which opposition parties have been calling for, considering the time left by my polls, are those reforms going to take place?
Larry, kana election ichinge yaitwa proclaim, hapana ma-legal amendments anokwanisa kuitwa to the electoral law. Because vanototyawo kuti anenge ari president wachona akatanga kuita machanges tangu election yaploke matawa very close to the election, then pamwe vanenge vakuita zvokuti vazvifavhe ivo vari mumapowers nemumapositions. Saka kana election yaproclaimiwa hapana anonzi ma-electoral amendments anokwanisa kuitika nema-regulations achona zvinotongoramba zvakadaro takutongopinda muelection. Saka so far tiri kuti hapana maamend. Tiri kuona veopposition vakati aiwa isusu tiri kuda diaspora vote, but just a few days before proclamation pakatoitwa judgment yekuti diaspora vote haisi legal muzimbabwe, haisi kuacceptiwa, haisi kutambirwa. Saka iva izvozvo mapoliticians edu vano vemalawyers zvakare vanozviziva izvozvo kuti ndo nyaya yacho iripo, kuti kana taakuenda towards an election yaproclaimiwa hapana malegal changes achaitiwa, hapana zvichashandurwa zvakawanda nekuti hazvisisiri pamutemo according to our electoral act and according to our constitution hazvichabvuma.
Got a message here. ZEC removed 100,000 people from the roll. Now look, the law requires one has to be registered voter in the ward or constituency. What if one of the candidates has been removed? What then?
Ndiri kungofungidzira because kutaura kwatiri kuita izvozvo izvi after nomination tinopa vanhu 4 days kuti vange vachiuya vachiita object to manominations iwayo. Saka ndiri kungofungidzirawo kuti at least pama-politicians edu vese vakaregister zviri regular hapana watichaita disqualify because akashandisa chitupa chehama kana chitupa cheshamwari kana kuti chitupa chaakafa kuti aregister kana kuti zvinhu zvake zvese zviri in order. But kana zvisiri in order unogona kuitwa disqualification iyoyo, and tinenge tichikutaurira kuti waita disqualified based on ABCD zvakanangana nomutemo wakamira wakadai hatingoita unilateral. Even vatinobisa from the voters roll iva pane inotonza adjudication committee inotogara pasi ichiona kuti ndizvo here kuti Larry akaregister katatu. Saka hatichaziva kuti Larry chaiye ndeupi apa pakuregister ikoko.
Matete Young's got a very good question. He said, if it is not allowed to put it online, the voters roll, why is it Justice Shigumba once gave us the link? Are you saying that she was lying? Lots of conflicting statements.
Link yaitaurwa namai Chigumba ndeyekuti unogona kunge uchienda ipapo uchinocheka munhu one by one kuti akaregister here. Saka ilink yekuti unoenda unoenter ID number yemunhu. Kana waenter ID number yemunhu obva wachiona kuti ari pa correct police station here, ID number yake iri correct here, saizvozvo haizi link yekuti unoenda obva unobhedhenura ona voters roll riri rese. Taingopa link iyoyo kuma-political party pavaiprepare paya kuti vanhu vaende kunomination court kuti vaone kuti kana vane vanhu vavo kana ari president I need 100,000 people kuti vamusapote application yake. Saka anogona kushandisa link iyoyo kuona kuti Netsai Mushonga ari kundisapota uyu arimo here muvoters roll. Saka vaishandisa link iyoyo.
For the sake of the electorate in Bulawayo, I'd like you to explain that in Ndebele or in English, because we feel like some time why he says, why is your guest tending to speak Sean in this interview for something of that national importance? So for the sake of someone who might not be understanding what's happening now.
Okay, I'm really sorry for that. But the link that Justice Chigumba gave was where you could go and search every person on an individual basis. So you could go to that link and enter that person's ID number, and the person's details would come out. So for the political parties, if they were being nominated by 5-10 people, they could easily use that USSD or that online link to check if the person who was nominating them was duly registered as a voter in the voters roll for Zimbabwe. So that's the link that Justice Chigumba was giving out. It's not the link to access the whole voters roll or begin to analyze it, because it doesn't work in that way.
Now, Was that link exclusively available to political parties? No one else could?
No, it was available to all Zimbabweans. Everyone could access that link.
So that means if I knew somebody's name, I could just check for their name?
If you knew their ID, you could begin checking for their registration. You had to know the person's ID number.
Okay, let's get into the phone lines. You're live on ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, and where you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, what's your contribution?
My contribution, I would like to ask you a question. Right, there were these very serious allegations made by Professor Jonathan Moyo on Twitter with regard to the preparation for elections by ZEC. And it was something to the effect that there are certain people are being hired from outside the country, the Chinese specifically. They are said to be helping ZEC to chamber this voters' roll in favor of ZANU-PF. And I think these are very, very serious allegations which can have very serious implications as well to us as a nation. I don't know how much have you done, you, ZEC, as a body, to try and prove these things wrong. Have you tried to get in touch with him and to try to put much pressure on him to ask him, give all those kind of allegations? Because I think this is a very serious matter. Thank you.
Okay, while we're trying to sort that out, please go ahead and answer the question.
Alright, maita henyu nekuti taurira izvozvo. Isusu as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission hatina vechichina vari kushanda nesu kufinalize voters roll redu. Tine vanhu vatema vatatu vatakatora from African region vanove ma-experts vari kutibatsira kuti tifinalize voters roll redu. Tinokurudzira chaizvo kuti munge muchiignore zviri kutaurwa nema-politicians nevamwe vakangowanda-wanda vari kutaura zvavanenge vachitaura. Ndokurudzira kuti muzviite disregard because isusu veZimbabwe Electoral Commission tiri maZimbabweans. Tinoziva kuti election yatiri kupinda iyi inokoshera maZimbabweans zvachose kuti inge ichifambiswa zvakanaka, zviri transparent, zviri open, zviri credible. Saka ndo zvatiri kungotedzera izvozvo, tichingoshanda tichingotedzera mutemo kuti tiproduce voters roll rine maZimbabweans akauya akazvipresenta physically kuti vari kuda kuvhota in this election. Saka hatina maChina atiri kushanda nawo. Saka zviri kutaurwa navamoyo izvozvo tinongozvidismissa also because hachizi chokwadi. Ndingangoti vamoyo vakafanana nemienzi vari kunzi uyai pamuchato yonzi musauye, vomira vachingotaurawo zvavari kutaura pagedhi kuti vari kuita zvavari kuita izvi vari kuita mune zvakaipa, nekuti isu tiri kungoitawo election iyi mune zvakanakira maZimbabweans ese.
Oh, okay. 0772168045. You're live on ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, and where you calling from? Okay, we seem to have lost that call. So, but have you at least investigated the allegations? That's what somebody said. The question that was asked.
We really have no need to investigate the allegations, Larry, because the people who are working in that department, we are talking to them every day. And we find evidence to say, you are saying 200 people have registered. Can you show us the discs where the 200,000 people are coming from? Like in our last registration, we got 200,000 people. So we actually ask the provincial officers for reports and they tell us 200 people. We go to the district offices and we hear, because we receive reports from our district offices, from our provincial offices, and from our voter registration departments. So we really have no need to worry, because we are working with people who are in our service. They've been with us for such a long time. We ask for reports from them, they give us. And even if we ask for the reports physically, they can also give us to say in this flash disk that is coming from National and Central, there are 26,500 people registered here. We can open that, we can decrypt that, and we can see that's the number of the voters who are coming from that area.
Among reforms, and I've got a question here from young Seth that says reforms they're talking about are not change of law, but simply obeying existing laws, such as equal coverage of all political parties on state media. Has that taken place?
After the proclamation, we began speaking with the public media. And what you can see now is that there's been a shift in the public media. They've begun to cover opposition candidates. I can give an example of the launch of the MDC Alliance Manifesto. It was covered live on ZBC, it was covered live on SFM. It's because we had started speaking to such media, and those things are happening. We have the Media Monitoring Committee that is working very closely with the Zimbabwe Media Commission, that is also working very closely with the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Services. So we are lobbying behind the scenes and making sure that whatever needs to happen begins to happen. But I was saying some of the demands, like 7 of the demands, needed us to change the law. That ZEC doesn't do. The law gets changed in Parliament of Zimbabwe. So we cannot change some of those things.
Eric Ruchava from Ngundis on 0731168045. I'm still looking at the phone line on 0772168045 for you to call us. Says mubvunzo wangu kana sister wangu ndewo kuti kana tika wana voters roll mune vanhu vasiri kugara muward iroro zvoitwa sei ipapo?
Taikurudzira vanhu kuti vange vachivhota muwadhi ravanogara iroro, kwete kuti vabude vaende vanovhota kunze. But tinogona kuwana 1 or 2 vakafunga kuti zvakanaka kuti vabude muward mavo vanorejista muvhoti riri pa next. But chandiri kuashuwa maZimbabweans ndechekuti isusu taingoita shuwa kuti munhu wese arejista pa polling station imwe chete muZimbabwe, haazorejista pama polling station mairi kana kuti matatu muZimbabwe. Saka that's what I want to assure Zimbabweans of, because vana havasi mombe yekuti tinobva tavati mese imimi muri panapa endai munorejista apa vobvuma. Vamwe vanobuda kuti aiwa inini ndiri kugara kudziva rasekwa, but aiwa ndoda kubuda ndonorejista kutafara, because ndiri kufunga kuti pachazoitwa election ndinenge ndawana basa kucycle cement ndokwandinenge ndakushanda, ndozvavanenge vafunga kuti vaite izvozvo. But voters roll iri tiri kungoti riri polling station specific, zita rako richangowanika pamwe chete pa polling station yaunenge wakasarudza iwewe kuti nini ndichanorejista ndiri pamabvuku primary school, ndo pachangowanika zita rako, hariwanike kumwe kwakawanda, because this is polling station specific voters roll.
Okay, we're going to take another quick break. Get in touch with us on 0772168045. That's our call number. I also want to hear from candidates, potential candidates. What has your experience been? Also, if you went to ZEC, maybe you went there on Friday, you tried to get a copy of the voters' roll. I want to hear what your experience has been. I've got the commissioner here until 8:30 o'clock. So do get in touch with us on 0772168045. In fact, let me just get this call before we go. You're live on CFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Chinoi.
Yes. What's your contribution?
My contribution to this issue of this is what surety have we got, like it won't happen again, where results are going to take 30 days to be published.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
Kushinoi, thank you for that question. Mutemo wedu unoti kana ma elections aitwa musi wa 30 tinopuwa 5 days kuti tinge tichiproduce ma results iwayo. But sekutaura kwandagara ndichingoita 5 days dzakafanana nokuti pakudya munopuwa 1 hour yekunodya, but mushandise 1 hour yekudya. Pamwe munogona kushandisa 20 minutes, pamwe munogona kushandisa 30 minutes kana muri munhu anodya zviri slow. Saka ma results edu by the 5th day anenge abuda munenge maanawo emakanzura edu, ema legislature edu, ema parliament, kuti vari kuenda kuparliament ndiani, uyezve kuti president anenge awina ndiani, tiri kuenda kurun off here kana kuti tatowana president tatogara takadaro as maZimbabweans. Saka ezvino tiri kuitwa govern nemutemo iwoyo. Pakanonoka kuproducwa ma results pamuchareva pamutemo uyo wakanga usati wapo, zvaingonzi ma results achabuda, hazvaitaura kuti anobuda within 5 days here, 10 days here kana kuti 30 days.
Okay, we've got another call here. You're live on ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, where are you calling from?
Ndinobvunza gogo awo kuti vati vane 3 vakabva kuma-out of the country vari kuningirika. Ko vari ngotora mapato vari kukwidza muno kuti vainvestigate mapepa.
Pandati vatatu apa ndiri kureva kuti vatatu ava vanhu vatema, vane ruzivo, vanhu vatema vakasviba kuita seni, vane ruzivo rwokuprodusa mavoters roll emuno muzimbabwe vakamboprodusa mavoters roll edzimwe nyika dzemuno muafrica ndo vatakatora ivava. Hatina kubva tabuda tikanotora maasians kana kuti tikatora varungu, because tinoona kuti zvinotikoshera kuti titore verudzi rwedu kuti vatibatsire kuti tinge tichiita maelections iwaya. Tikatora vemapolitical party, chero party yatatora anenge anogona kuti vhiringidzira voters roll redu because iye akanangana nemusangano wake kuti uwine. Saka akaziva kuti ningi naningi havasapote musangano wangu, anogona kutenga akutodzima vanhu ivavo from the voters roll. Isusu zvozotibudira zvisina kutinakira as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, because basa rareferee nderekungoti vanhu vese vatambe mutambo, kwete kuti vamwe vatodziviswa kuti vatambe mutambo zvachose. Saka tikatora vanosapota ruling party vanenge vane anonzi mabiases avo ari serious. Tikatorawo opposition vanenge vane mabiases avo ari serious. Saka tinoda vanonzi neutral people vanongouya because vari kubhadharwa kuti vatibatsire kunge tinge tichifinalize voters roll redu iroro. Saka zvakaipei kutora vanhu vatema vakamboproducewo mavoters roll edzimwe nyika vanenge ana Zambia vanenge ana Uganda kuti vangotibatsira kuti tiite basa iroro. And riri kuitwa zviri professional because ava vari kutibatsira havanei nemapato ezvematongerwo enyika emuzimbabwe. Havanai avanosapota, havanai avasingasapoti, vanongoda democracy yenyika.
Nigel Ndlovu from Bulawayo asks, why do candidates have to keep chasing ZEC to do their job? They have my contacts and call me and they can call me to contact to come and collect the voters' roll. So there's I guess a potential candidate there.
Alright, maita henyu potential candidate and ndinokutendai nekunge muchimiramira ma-elections edu. Tiri kutarisa kuti isusu tine 1958 wards muno muZimbabwe pari kukombitwa nemapato akawanda. Tozove ne210 legislative seats dziri kukombitwa nevanhu vakawanda. Vamwe varimo imomo vanogona kunge vasingade voters roll iroro, vasingamboda kana kuriona. Saka tiri kuti sezvo tichazokumbirwa kuti tiakaunte kuti watakapa voters roll ndiani, vari kuada mavoters roll iwaya ngavauye vazofila mafomu iwayo vataure nevaexpress interest yavo kuti vari kumada. Tozomaka kuti ningi naningi ndivo vatapa voters roll. Tati voters roll iri ukazori abuse in the end unobatwa nemutemo, unogona kutosungwa nemhosva yekuti waabuse voters roll. Saka tosinge tichizoda kuona kuti ndiani watakapa uyezve ndiani azenga akutiitira abuse voters roll reZimbabwe iroro, because rine information yakawanda yevanhu iri very confidential, from mafingerprints evanhu, from mafacial features evanhu, nema-address avo, ma-surnames avo, ma-ID numbers avo. Saka it's a security document. I-document rinotikoshera chaizvo as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Tinoda kuti vanhu varambe vachingoregister kuvhota vasatye kuti vezeki vachazotipira mbavha. Document riya rozoshandiswa zvisizvo zvozovaisa pamatambudziko mazuva anoteera.
You're live on ZFM Stereo.
Hello?
Hello, what's your name, contribution, where you calling from? Can you turn down your radio? Could you please turn down your radio? Okay, looks like, can you try and call again, because I'll go down to Israel on that particular occasion. Says, I'm going to look here, I've got more messages coming in. Okay, let's try and get that call. You're live on ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, where you calling from? Okay, seem to have lost that call. Please keep trying to call. We're here until 8:30 o'clock. I did say we'll take a quick break, and I'll take a quick break at this moment to come back and continue in probably the last 12 minutes in this very important discussion. You're still tuned into ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town. We're here until 8:30 o'clock, in which Chila is going to come in with our story. We are talking about mostly the voters' roll, with the elections coming in on the 30th of July 2018. In the studio, I've got from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Commissioner Netsai Mushonga. We are breaking down this issue. An issue that I want to ask is, are you satisfied at this point with the level of funding for the 2018 elections?
I will say, Larry, we are satisfied with the level of funding in this election. We applied for funding from the government. They didn't give us all the funds we applied for. But we also have funding partners who are coming in handy to support some of the processes we are doing and covering the gap for us. So we don't have funds in extravagance, but we have enough to do the 2018 elections for Zimbabwe. So we are fully covered in that regard.
So where has some of this funding come from the funding partners?
From the UNDP, from the AISA, from IFES. They have been funding especially the training of our personnel as we move into the 2018 elections. They've been able to cover that gap for us. So the gap that is there is being fully covered by other funding partners. And we have adequate vehicles for running around and setting up our polling station, transporting our staff, and also buying the ballot paper, buying the ink, and recruiting the personnel that we need for this election. So if we have been able to advocate at the highest level of treasury to get the resources that we need. So like I'm saying, atina luxury, but it's neinongo kwana kuita my elections edu zvakatinakira as the Zimbabweans.
And the next question I ask, government is one of the biggest funders.
Yes.
And so parties have previously accused ZEC administrators of being partisan and so forth. So what are you doing to ensure that your operations are independent from the state, given that they're the ones paying for the elections?
In every country where there's an election management body, the government has an obligation to fund the electoral processes of that government. What is important is that the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is independent, makes its decision independently, and implements the electoral process independently, which is what we have been able to do from the time I was elected until now. We make our decisions independently, we run the electoral commissions independently, and that's the most important thing. You can see that in the last few months, we got rid of our chief elections officer, and we selected someone to fill in their place. That's a decision that we made very independently.
What was the basis for that?
Electoral Commission. We wanted to work with someone who is in line with what we were doing. So basically, that was the reason for that.
Let's get back to the phone lines. You're live with ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, what's your contribution?
My contribution. I just wanted to really understand what the modalities. She was saying it's all about the law and the issue of who is printing the ballot, where is it going to be stored, and the distribution network of the ballot. Isn't that an administrative issue? Can since it's a pending issue, can it be accommodated so that they will be transparent in the whole process?
Thank you for your contribution.
All right. Thank you so much for that question, and it's a relevant question. What is going to happen is that when we begin printing the ballot paper, we are going to be asking representatives of political parties and civil society to come and observe that process. We are doing that to enhance transparency within the electoral process. But the law says ZEC is free to identify the suppliers for the ballot paper and procure that ballot paper and ink, and also to select the best printer for the ballot paper. But at the printing stage, I'm saying we are calling you in to come and see the ballot paper and also see it being printed, and also verify that there are no moving X's on that piece of paper. The X that you put today, you will still find it tomorrow in the same position. And after that process, the law says we should inform Zimbabweans where we bought the printing paper from, where we bought the ink from, who is printing our ballot paper, how many ballot papers are printing, and how many extra ballot papers are we going to be printing for this election. So according to the law, we are going to flight a notice in that regard, and you'll see it in our newspapers. We'll talk about it because it will be the correct time to speak about that.
You're live with ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, and where you're calling from?
Hello, Larry.
Yes. Can you turn down your radio?
Yeah, okay.
Please go ahead.
Alright, ndandidovhunza maiguru awo kuti vari kukuta kuti MDC yakaitwa live coverage paailonje manifesto ko ndopega here pavangakota ndo tingati zvairi sei here iyo ZANU-PF ichiitwe live broadcast marali ayo.
Very good question. Thank you for your contribution.
Isusu tiri kutotaura nevenhepfenyuro ndangopa iyoyo as an example because ndopa zvakatanga uyezve ndopa takabva tangofarawo kuti veredhiyo vatanga kuita live coverage nekukavha vema-opposition parties. We know kuti tine ma-opposition parties 22, saka pane long way to go tisati tatanga kukavha vese, but tiri kutaura navo through the Zimbabwe Media Commission neZimbabwe Broadcasting Authority yandambotaura yaya. Tiri kuramba tichitaura navo kuti itotipai mashedule enyu ekuti dhei renyu rinenge rakamira sei, uyezve vema-opposition parties ava muri kuvaisa papi kuti mukwanise kuvakavha kuti vanzwike kuti ndezvipi zvavari kuita, mamanifestos avari kutaura kuti kudii, vari kupromisa maZimbabweans kuti kudii, uyezve vari kumiririra chii muelection yedu. Saka ndangopa iyoyo as an example, but tiri kutarisira kuti varambe vachingokavha zvimwe zvakawanda, pasangove ndipo pazvinogumira nepazvinotangira, but zvirambe zvichitoenda pamberi. Saka we are monitoring them to make sure kuti vaenda direction iyoyo yekuti vange vachikavha ma-opposition parties edu 22 are contested in this election.
So if I'm sitting at home, I would ask you, is there a report, maybe a weekly report that can be made available to see what percentages were, allotted to whoever and that sort of thing?
Kutaura kwandiri kuita ikoko kuti atoseta up media monitoring room kuZimbabwe Electoral Commission iri kuproducer information iyoyo. Isu tinoramba tichitaura nevama-political party, but panozopera tinoramba tichitaura nemedia kuti kavhai vanhu vese zvakaenderana, but panozopera election Larry, parliament yeZimbabwe inenge yakuda kuti tiproduce report iyoyo.
Saka report ichabuda after?
Ichabuda after, asi ticharamba tichingotaura nevenhepfenyuro ivavo kuti vange vachiita zviri free and fair and credible in terms of covering my political party.
But what would make it difficult? This is because ZEC has got an issue at the moment, public perception. So I would say, if I'm sitting at home, how difficult would it be to be able to say, okay, a news time and whatever quota of time that was used, a weekly report is produced. What percentage was given to this party, percentage was given to this party, just for us members of the public to feel more confident.
Isu tinenge takutora report iyo Larry inenge ichitaura kuti party yakakavhwa time yakadi, party yakakavhwa time yakadi, percentage yacho yakadi, tonovaratidza ivavo vemaredhiyo ivavo nevema-TV tiri kumutemo unokusungirai kuti munge muchikavha ma-political parties.
Yes, I hear, but the question is why is it, if I'm saying Ekwavalada, for example, and I just want to know, this is being done in a very credible and accountable way. Why can't I get that information as opposed to just giving those media players the information? Why can't I get it?
The law requires us to give it to Parliament at the end of the day, but we'll be sharing it with the participating media institutions so that they know where the gaps are and what they should do to cover those gaps. That's why I'm saying we even request the schedules of those media houses to see how much they are giving airtime to opposing political parties.
You're live with ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution, where you're calling from? Magadi.
Ndatoda kubvunza nini kuti zvauri kutaura tikuzwisisa macomplaints evanhu emacoverage tikumanzwawo havana nyatsokuexplaina zvandanyatsonzwisisa hangu, but ndakabvunza kuti koma Newsday neHerald, Newsday neDaily News handisandaona ine vachitaura zvinhu zvinonyanya kusapota ruling party kana kuti even the president. Vanopinda kuside ripi, and why Herald 1 hour into handede Newsday neDaily News zvinonyanya kupinda papi, hazisipo here panyaya yemedia yepapapo.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
Alright, maita henyu. Mutemo unoti tinyatsotarisisa anonzi ma-public media houses. Ma-public media houses ndivo anana Herald, ndivo anana ZTV nemamwe akawanda-wanda. Vanoti tinyatsotarisisa iwayo kuti ari kupa coverage yakadi, because vanobelieve kuti iwayo that's where many people listen to the public media. That's why many people listen. They have the widest coverage in terms of news. Vanoti titarise ivavo kuti tione kuti vari kunyanyomhanya zvakadi.
Okay, final call for this evening. You're live on ZFM Stereo. Okay, you're live on ZFM Stereo. What's your name, contribution you're calling from? Taura itinzwe.
Zati chizaura panyaya mamawe kuti vari kuti coverage handiti. Coverage papapa unozongonzwa kana pakubudiswa kuti vachamisa vane vakutaurwa zvinhu zvisizvo, kuita sokuti zvinhu zvaya zvakutaurwa on a negative perspective. Vanombozvitarisawo here pavanenge vachitaura nevemapepanhau ava kana kuti edzine dzenyu.
Thank you. So, editorials?
Media Monitoring Committee asks the political parties to convey the message correctly from the political players. So that's what we are looking for. So we are saying in the manifestos of the political parties, what is the correct position without any analysis going into it. So we are saying pass the message as it is. And if it's a comment, then you can do it afterwards. But we are saying that correct message from the various political parties should be able to be conveyed to the public so that they know what those 22 political parties and the ruling party are standing for in that election.
So the question I think that is asked there, it's like, say, okay, I can quote you. Like I can quote you right now and, screaming headline tomorrow, 100,000 people have been told that they can't vote. You did say it.
Yes, I did say it, but you also have to say it objectively. Why are those 100 people not on the exclusion list?
So the question is it incumbent? Are you monitoring the content as well as, because statement would have been correct. Are you monitoring the content as well as the fact that there's coverage?
Yes, we really have sophisticated machines, Larry, to do this monitoring. We are monitoring in terms of time that the political party is given in that station. And we are also monitoring in terms of the content. Is it positive? Is it negative? But most importantly, we want the message of the political party to go out as it is and not be diluted in any way. Because you can say something very positive, I can take it and I can spin it around and I can portray it in a very negative form. So we are saying just pass the message as it is for that political party. Just to say Larry said A, B, C, D.
That's the voice of Commissioner Netsai Mushonga from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks, Larry. It was a pleasure.
And that's it. Our story with Sheila is coming up now. Take care of yourself and the people that you love. I'll be back with you. Let's do that again. I'll be back with you tomorrow between 8:30 and 9 p.m. on Health Matters. Other than that, take care of yourself and the people that you love. And as I always say, from where I come from, Take care of yourself.